I'm secretly married to Manhattan. Before the wedding, he slid one piece of paper across the table. 3 rules. No sharing a bed, no hugging, no kissing. I signed with a flourish and thought, as if I care. After the wedding, he climbed into my bed every night. Finally, I couldn't take it and kicked him off. You wrote those rules yourself. He rubbed his lower back, face all innocence. Wifey, I must have had water in my brain that day. My name is Stella. Yeah, that's Stella, the one who wrote to the oak tree. Too bad I can't write poetry. I only write web-novels. My latest hit is about a counterfeit heiress. My editor says the trope is stale. I say no problem. It's a true story. She asks where I found real-life material. I say it's my best friend. The best friend is me. I'm the counterfeit. Mom doted on me for 23 years. Then the hospital called. Baby switched at birth. I was gnawing a chicken leg. It fell to the floor. Mom looked just as floored. They comforted me. Don't overthink it, while secretly crying for the daughter who'd suffered. For 2 straight days they hugged me and promised nothing would change. Then they flew the real daughter home and took her to legally change her name. She wanted to swap names with me, then decided she didn't want hand-me-downs. Whatever. Stella never thrilled me anyway. After a week of drama, Mom hired a numerologist. The true daughter would now be Sophia. From the line, clouds drift out of the mountain hollow unintentionally. Pretty, cultured. Way better than the fake me. Our family has an old betrothal contract with the Sterlings. Theodore and my granddad were war buddies. They pledged their firstborn grandchildren. The pledge specified the true heiress, not a fake like me. Theodore's health is failing, so he's rushing the wedding. Mom hints daily that I should tell Christian the marriage candidate is Sophia, not me. Conveniently, Christian invites me to dinner that Sunday at the Plaza's Palm Court. Across from his frosty face, I spill the entire mess. He listens in silence while I shred a napkin. Christian, the bottom line is, you're supposed to marry Sophia, not me. He stays quiet so long I almost hear the chandeliers hum. Finally, finished. I nod. He straightens his cuff, gold watch glinting. I said I'd marry you. That hasn't changed. My brain blue screens. Oh. Big bad wolf, much. After dessert, he insists on driving me home. My driver now shuttles Sophia everywhere, so I accept. At the gate he says, come to Sterling Quantum tomorrow. We'll finalize details. Like I'm a murderer. Next morning I Uber to Midtown. His assistant escorts me to a glass-walled conference room, pours Fiji water, and slides over a folder. Miss Vance, your prenup. I expect 50 pages of asset division. There's 1 sheet. 3. No sharing a bed, no hugging, no kissing. Christian's signature is already sharpied in the corner. I blink. That's it. The assistant's smile is apologetic. That's it. No mention of money, mister. Sterling said it's unnecessary. He trusts you. Trusts my integrity, not my hormones. Nice. We sign anyway. Wedding prep rockets forward under 2 weeks from contract to I do. Apart from picking a wedding gown and signing the license, I lift 0 fingers. The night before the ceremony, Christian calls. Final makeup trial. I think he's insane, but I go. Turns out the guest list is 3, me, him, and a priest. No parents. Mom has whisked Sophia off to Capri. Why Victoria Sterling isn't there? I don't ask. Saint Patrick's Side Chapel. Flowers from a corner deli. Classy. When the priest says man and wife, Christian's fingers are ice cold against mine. Whatever. Stage cleared. I move into his waterfront mansion, 3rd floor his, 2nd floor mine. Blissful distance, wedding night. He never comes home. Misses. Davis nags me to call, straight to voicemail. I leave a shrug emoji and go to sleep. Next morning he's still AWOL. I'm not heartbroken, just mildly nauseated. I message Chloe, hypothetical hubby ghosts on wedding night, trash or recyclable. She doesn't know I'm the trash in question. She voice notes back, you kidding? Dude's supposed Manhattan. That bracelet. High school sweetheart souvenir. Netizens call him Manhattan because he prays like he's on a mount. Still hung up on her yet marries someone else. Great dash a jerk. I reply, scumbag confirmed. That evening the scumbag shows up with white peonies. I hand them to Mrs. Davis for a vase. When he reaches for the salad servers I glimpse the bead bracelet vaguely familiar. Can't place it. Dinner is 12 dishes, all my favorites. We sit at opposite ends of a table built for 20. He won't lift his chopsticks. I refuse to start. Stalemate? Finally he places a peeled prawn in my bowl. Say what you want, Stella, he mutters. I return the favor with a piece of braised short rib, just thinking you look decent tonight. His eyes frost over. Kindly respect boundaries, Miss Vance. I roll mine so hard they almost clang. Aye, princess. His complexion turns avocado. I bathe, burn a lavender candle, stream a rom-com, pass out. I wake up boiling. There's a body spooning me, hot breath on my neck. I almost scream, then recognize the sandalwood scent. Christian, in my bed, sound asleep like a giant baby. I flick on the night table lamp. He frowns, hugs me tighter. I slap him. He jolts awake, cheek blooming red. What the hell, wife? He croaks. Who's your wife? I retort then remember I legally am. You hit me, he growls. You climbed into my room, I counter. He shuts up, slides out, and pats away. Next afternoon, I'm munching an apple, gossiping with Mrs. Davis, sleepwalking, ha. Since childhood, she sighs, trimming peonies. Stress triggers it, doctors never helped. Mystery solved, he's sick, not a pervert. I mutter, poor guy. A voice behind me, feels sorry for me. I tumble off the sofa, knee smacking the coffee table. Tears spring to my eyes. He scoops me up, ice towel already in hand, wood smoke scent envelopes me. Cold, bear it, he orders, pressing the pack to my swelling kneecap. I squeak an affirmative and clutch my pajama hem, cheeks hotter than the bruise. Actually, it didn't hurt that much anymore. He had one hand under my calf and the other pressing the ice pack in place. I poked the tip of his finger, already red from the cold. Christian, are we getting a little ambiguous here? He ignored me. When the icing was done, he pulled my pajama pants back down and said evenly, come home with me tonight. Which home? Since the wedding, Mom hadn't reached out once. They blamed me for clinging to Christian, forcing him to marry me. I told them I hadn't. They didn't believe it. The moment Sophia cried, they believed nothing else. Whatever happened, once she spoke, it became my fault. Christian handed the ice pack to Mrs. Davis. Back to the manor. Grandfather misses you. Then he stood. I'm heading to the office. I'll pick you up later. I waved. Drive safe. I wasn't stressed about visiting the Sterlings. Theodore was good to me, and so was Grandma Sterling. I pictured a warm, easy evening. Reality proved more complicated. Besides Theodore, no one in the family had approved of our marriage. Christian pushed the door open first. Victoria greeted him with a smile. When she saw me, it froze. She recovered fast. Stella came too. I nodded. The tone told me she hadn't known I was coming, or Theodore hadn't planned on me at all. Christian the liar, I pinched his arm. He caught my hand, lacing our fingers tight. Mom, Stella is your daughter-in-law. Isn't it normal for her to come home? Victoria called his name once, then said nothing more. We went upstairs to see Theodore. The old man was in great spirits, practicing calligraphy in the study. "Grandpa, hello." He set the brush down. "Ah, good girl." After chatting a while, he said he had something for me. I assumed it would be one of his scrolls. Instead, it was a bracelet, an heirloom jade bracelet. I didn't dare accept it. Before I could refuse, Grandpa thrust it at Christian. "Chris, put this on Stella." Christian took it, caught my hand, and slid the bracelet on. I whispered near his ear, "Are we allowed to keep this?" He fastened it and held my hand again. "It's from Grandpa. If you like it, keep it." Only at dinner did I realize the full lineup was present. Not just the Sterlings, the Vances were here to dot Mom and Sophia. What was this? I glanced at Christian. He looked completely unsurprised. Sophia sat opposite me, glaring and rolling her eyes the instant we took our seats. I knew the act ignored her. I greeted the person beside me, Mom. They gave a nod, Nothing else. No smile, not even a twitch. Even Theodore asked Christian whether he'd bullied me. If he had, Grandpa would take care of him. A pang of sadness hit me. I didn't feel like a Vance anymore. The atmosphere felt eerie. My guess, tonight's dinner hadn't been meant to include me. "Sweetheart, eat more." Christian kept piling food into my bowl, ladling soup for me. He never called me that in public. When he acts out of character, something's up. Everyone except the two of us looked murderous. The bracelet circled my left wrist. It showed whenever I lifted the spoon. Christian tucked a loose strand of my hair behind my ear. "Careful, it's hot. Sip slowly." Victoria suddenly spoke. "You've got nerve, stealing the jade bracelet to give to Stella." I set my spoon down and looked at him. It came from Grandpa. With that, he took my hand. We're full heading out. The car playlist cued my favorite songs, eyes closed. The evening replayed in fast forward. Annoying. At a red light, he asked, "Did you eat enough?" An idea struck. I stared at him. I wasn't invited tonight. Was I? He stayed silent. Still no words. But I had my answer. Neither of us spoke the rest of the way. Back home, I went straight upstairs for a shower. When I came out, a text waited. "Come downstairs." In the kitchen, he stood by the island, 2 bowls of noodles steamed on the counter. Hungry already, the sight made me starving. "You cooked, Mrs. Davis would be asleep by now." Come eat." He pulled out a chair for me. Afterward, I carried my bowl to the sink. He stopped me, said he'd wash. I didn't argue, glad to skip chores. Upstairs, I wrote for 2 hours, then got ready for bed. I hesitated at the bedroom door. Lock it or not? Unlocked meant another possible midnight invasion. Locked might leave him sleepwalking into the wood. My verdict: try again. If he barged in, tomorrow the door would be locked. Soon after I lay down, thunder rolled. On my third toss, I knew sleep was hopeless. A soft click. The door opened. Him again. My mind vowed to lock up next time. I sat up and flicked on the lamp. Seriously, what now? This time his eyes were wide open, no sleepwalking. I studied him. "Don't tell me you're scared of thunder." It was the only motive I could imagine. A little. I sighed and yanked the blanket rightward. "Get in." Side by side, we listened to rain and thunder. A week later, the college reunion. I went with Chloe. Spotted a familiar face, Sophia. She hadn't even attended our school. I asked Chloe who'd brought her. She jerked her chin. "Landon." I followed the gesture. Sure enough, Landon's arm half circled Sophia's waist. Intimacy on full display. No clue when they'd hooked up. In high school, Landon had pursued me with filthy tactics. I turned him down. He retaliated by spreading rumors. Eventually, I cornered him in an alley and beat him up. 6 years of taekwondo, his face was rainbow bruises. His mom demanded damages from mine, and that ended it. Since then, the sight of him sickened me. Stella, or should I say, counterfeit? I turned. Some female classmate whose name I couldn't recall ignored her. People like that aren't worth breath. Still pretending you're a princess. Kept by some old man, what are you so cocky about? She appended her glass over my head. Iced wine streamed down. Instinctively, I shut my eyes. Chloe passed me a stack of napkins. Before I finished wiping, guests rose around as Chloe splashed her drink right back. What the hell is wrong with you? Landon and Sophia stepped in front of the girl. Landon, Stella, bullying Sophia is one thing, but attacking classmates too. Sophia squeezed out tears, the picture of grievance. You were a thug in school, and you're worse now. Without thinking, I slapped her. My life is none of your business. You're still as disgusting as ever. The outburst felt great. I grabbed Chloe and headed out. From the doorway, Chloe shouted back, "You two skanks deserve each other." Outside, Christian's car idled at the curb. He must have been waiting. Chloe pinched my cheek. All right, I won't see you off. Don't let those losers get to you. Once she left, I climbed in. Christian asked nothing, simply offered tissues. I set the packet aside and looked at him. Christian, can I have a hug? Half expected rejection. He didn't refuse okay. He opened his arms. I wrapped my arms around his neck, cheek against his shoulder, and blurted, "But your 3 rules said no hugs." He stroked my hair. That rule's dead. The more I thought, the wronger I felt. I didn't do anything wrong, so why am I the one paying? It's not your fault. No idea which nerve that hit, tears poured. Yeah, I did nothing wrong, but Mom didn't either, and neither did Sophia. Nobody's wrong, so how did it end up like this? He let go and wiped my cheeks. Don't cry, it'll be all right. Still wallowing, I didn't catch his words. I just stared, pitiful. No more hugs. Save them for home. Back at the penthouse, he insisted on a truth-telling session. Fine, he hoarded secrets. I wouldn't lose misses. Davis baked cookies and petit fours, plus 2 bottles of wine. I nibbled 2 cookies. He still hadn't started. I wiped my fingers. I'll open, shoot. I leaned back, scanning him head to toe. When granted the chance, I couldn't pick a question. My gaze landed on the Buddhist bead bracelet around his wrist. Had bugged me forever. Where'd those beads come from? He answered flatly, a friend gave them. Girlfriends count as friends, jerk. Which friend? My turn. He deflected. Write 1 question each. I poured wine. Fire away. Do you like me? I hadn't even swallowed the sip when the query choked me, coughed for ages. He patted my back. I waved him off. I thought it over. Can't say I hate him, but like. Crap, pretty sure I do at least a little. I met his eyes. I think I kind of like you. No reaction, face blank, like I'd said nothing special. Got it, your turn. I wised up to, went straight to the point. Who's the first love that gave you the Buddhist bead bracelet? He answered fast, no hesitation, you. A call pulled him out. He didn't come home that night. I lay awake the whole night and still couldn't remember when I'd ever given him Buddhist bead. Next morning, Chloe rang me awake. Babe, check X, quick. Hashtag rising author v Sterling CEO #LPT to long fiction just turned real. Christian had posted our marriage on Sterling's website. He even opened an account and followed only me. I was done, mortified. I deleted the app. Chloe doubled over laughing. Christian really delivered. Thought he'd stay Mr. Hidden husband, but he saved the nuke for last. I sighed. Stop burying me now. He came back at desk. I was gaming when he sat beside me. The moment I saw him, I blurted, when exactly did I give it? A whole day of stewing would kill me. He set the flowers on the coffee table and stayed quiet. I shot him a look. No confession. No bed tonight. He slid the bracelet off and handed it over. You gave it to me when we were kids. Really don't remember? I put the controller down and took it up close. One beat carried my initials. It clicked. I had made this. Back when I was tiny, the nanny taught me how to string beads. I'd cut my finger carving the letter. Not only the bracelet came back, the whole scene did. A drop-dead gorgeous boy had visited our house. I orbited him like a moon. Big brother, this is for you, and forced it onto his wrist. His face stayed frosty. What do you want? A kiss, right here. I tapped my cheek. He didn't move. So I stretched up and planted one myself. Only I never realized that boy was Christian. I traced the letter, couldn't look at him, and faked ignorance. Doesn't ring a bell. He told people his first love gave it to him. A crazy notion popped up. I returned the bracelet. Christian, don't tell me you liked me even back then. He admitted without flinching. Yeah, for years. I went silent. He tipped my chin up, smiling. Now that we're grown, want the kiss again? My face combusted. I slapped a hand over his mouth. After that honesty session, things felt different. Nothing specific, yet everything. He started swaggering into my room. Thunderphobia, insomnia, any excuse. I asked Mrs. Davis how he used to cope. Young master just worked all night, no sleep. Now he camped in my bed every day. Nothing dirty, just lying there. Sometimes I typed while he read beside me. I complained he was in the way. He claimed the study was cold. I said raise the thermostat. He said it wasn't that kind of cold. Fine, whatever. The day he flew out for business, peace at last. I was binge watching on the sofa when the bell rang. Mrs. Davis opened to a socialite, Christian's mother. I jumped up. Afternoon, Mrs. Sterling. She raked her eyes over me and said nothing, sat in the salon crossing her legs, staring. You're Stella, the writer? Yes. Writing that web novel trash? I inhaled slowly. Web novels. She sneered. Internet junk, in other words. She pulled a certified check from her bag and placed it on the table. $50 million. Leave my son. I looked at the slip of paper. $50 million. Serious money. She kept going. I know it all. The Vances threw out the counterfeit. No place for you among sterlings. I stared but didn't touch. She upped the ante. Add to condo set for life. I picked it up, studied it. Mrs. Sterling, that's generous. She arched a brow. Smart choice. I said it back. But I'll pass. Her face soured. Too little. Not that. I sat. I didn't marry Christian for money. Read the prenup. 3 rules, 0 on property. Walk away tomorrow. I take nothing. She froze. Don't want us together. Talk to your son. If he agrees, I'll sign today. The door opened. Christian stood there, gaze sweeping the room and the check. He walked over, picked it up, tore. Mom, quit wasting paper. He tossed the pieces in the bin. Stella and I handle us ourselves. His mother rose, livid. You'd pick this girl over family. I keep the family and her. He laced his fingers through mine. Drive safe, mother. We've got things to do. The door slammed behind her. I eyed him. Thought you were away. Couldn't focus. He studied me. 50 million didn't tempt you. It did. Then I realized you're worth more. His grin was lethal. Mrs. Sterling's visit bought us a quiet handful of days. Then Sophia showed. She posed on the threshold like an awards host, smile as fake as her lashes. Sister, so long no see. I blocked the way. What do you want? Invite me in. Speak your piece. Her expression twitched before settling back into sweetness. Just checking on you. Mom worries. I laughed, worried. No call in weeks. She nibbled her lip. She was afraid you'd misunderstand. I didn't ask to be swapped, to grow up in foster care. I'd seen this script. Back home her tears used to cue instant coddling and blame for me. Not today. Cut the act, out with it. Tears shimmered. You've changed. You used to be kind. That was before I knew you weren't my sister. She wiped her cheeks, switched tactics. Mom's family gala is next week. The Sterlings are invited. You're not. A dart to the chest, but I kept my face bored, so... Avoid the humiliation. Couples everywhere, you solo. Who says I'm solo? Christian's voice drifted past my shoulder. He wrapped an arm around me. Our engraved invitation arrived. Stella will be on my arm. Sophia opened and closed her mouth. Christian kissed my temple. Chilly out, let's go in. Miss Vance, good day. Door shut. I looked up. You really intend to go? Do you want to? No? Then we don't. Won't that offend people? Which people? The Sterlings already met you. The Vances don't own us. I had to admit, sometimes he felt solid as bedrock. We said no, yet ended up going. Theodore summoned, little Stella, missing my favorite girl at your own family gala. Not allowed. I dared not refuse. Night of, I psyched myself up. Cars clocked the Vance Estate Drive. Christian held my hand and walked me in. Living room glittered with guests. Mom presided, Sophia beside her, smiling like sugar. Seeing us, her grin froze, then rebooted. Sister, you came. Thought you'd skip. I ignored her, greeted Mom and Dad. They nodded stiffly, embarrassment on full display. We took seats opposite Victoria. She sniffed and looked away. Service began. Plates arrived. Conversation fake. Polite. Mid-meal, Sophia spoke up. Sister, the new novel everyone's talking about. People say it's our family in disguise. The table fell silent. I set my chopsticks down. You read it. Online buzz, she cooed. Isn't it tasteless to air family laundry? I met her gaze. Does this family have dirty laundry? Mom pampers you. Looks perfect to me. Crimson swept her cheeks. My mom didn't look happy either. Christian's mother gave a cold laugh. Writing about your own family hardly appropriate. I turned to Sophia. Have you actually read my book? She shook her head. No, I don't read that kind of novel. Then on what grounds do you say it's about our family? She choked on her answer. I went on. My book is about a real counterfeit, but the characters are fictional. The plot is fictional. If you insist on seeing yourself in it, I can't help that. Her eyes reddened. Sis, I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? She started to cry. My mom hurried to comfort her. My dad looked at me. Stella, say less. I set down my chopsticks. Fine, I'm done. Christian took my hand. Softly he asked, get out of here. I shook my head. Stay a bit longer for grandfather's sake. When Sophia finished crying, she spoke again. Sis, I heard Uncle Sterling gave you a bracelet. I arched a brow. So? That's the Sterling family heirloom. It's supposed to go to the eldest son's wife. She stared at me. Are you? I smiled. Am I not? Her face flushed. I didn't mean it that way. Then what exactly did you mean? She opened her mouth. No words came. Christian's mother cut in. Stella, that bracelet truly shouldn't be yours. The old man was muddled back then. I looked at Christian. He stood up. Mom, grandfather wasn't muddled. He placed it on her wrist himself. If anyone has an issue, take it up with him. His mother's face changed color. Christian pulled me to my feet. We're finished. Excuse us. Outside the door, I drew a long breath. Your grandfather really wasn't muddled. He grinned. Not in the least. He was crystal clear. Then why give it to me? He looked at me. Because he knew the woman I married was you. After the family gala, I couldn't sleep. I tossed in bed, mind chaotic. Suddenly, one memory surfaced. Those beads, when had I given them to him? I thought hard and a hazy picture formed. I must have been 6, maybe 7. A guest arrived with a little boy. A few years older than me, quiet, always stone-faced. I thought him pretty and orbited around him. He barely answered. I pestered the nanny to teach me beading, spent the whole afternoon stringing one. When it was done, I brought it to him. Big brother, for you. He glanced. Don't want it. I stuffed it into his hand. Take it, take it. Still he refused. I said, if you keep it, I'll kiss you. He froze. Then I really did kiss him. His face turned red. Now I remembered. That little boy was Christian. Next morning at breakfast, I stared at him. He grew uneasy. What? You blushed back then, didn't you? He blinked. Stop pretending. I laughed. I remember your face was red. He laid down his chopsticks and looked at me. You remember, MMHMM. He was quiet a moment. Back then I thought, this little girl has guts. I giggled. That's it. He shook his head. There's more. What? I already knew I'd marry you someday. I froze. He went on. When I learned we had a betrothal, I was happy. Then you went abroad and I waited for years. Why didn't you ever say? Say what? He looked at me. Tell you I was that boy. You'd wiped me clean from memory. Thinking about it, yeah, probably. Then what was that 3 rules you laid down before the wedding? He cleared his throat. Afraid I'd scare you. Scare me. Thought you'd decide I was scheming. I burst out laughing. Scheming. You crawl into my bed every night. That's your idea of not scaring me. His cheeks tinted. I couldn't help it. And now can you help it? He only looked at me, saying nothing. I looked back. Mrs. Davis came in with fruit and saw us locked in stare down. What are you two doing? Who's got bigger eyes? We both looked away at once. Days rolled by fast. Half a year of marriage already. In that time, Christian changed plenty. Used to be stone-faced. Now he smiles. Used to be taciturn. Now he won't shut up. Used to work overtime every night. Now he's home on the dot. When I write, he sits nearby reading. If I hit a block, he pitches ideas. All useless, of course. Like when I wrote a lover's quarrel, he said, why quarrel? Just kiss. I said, you don't get it, that's dramatic tension. He said, tension my foot. One kiss fixes everything. I said, shut up. He did. 2 minutes later, how about the hero goes on a trip and the heroine misses him? I turned. You want to travel? He shook his head. Nope. Then quit giving notes. He grinned. I just like how cute you are when you miss me. I felt my cheeks burn. The man's tongue's getting sweeter. One day he asked out of nowhere, let's go public. I blinked. Public with what? Our marriage. Isn't it already public? He looked at me. Not really. I want the whole world to know. So no one dares bully you again. Who's bullying me? Your college reunion. And the family gala. I went silent. He said, I used to think a quiet marriage was easier. Turns out quiet just lets them make you swallow insults. I didn't feel insulted. I did. He laced our fingers. I want everyone to know you're my wife. Not some stand-in, not some counterfeit, the woman I chose. I studied him, meant it. You sure? I asked, absolutely. Your mom, I'll handle her. I nodded. All right, handle it. A week later, Sterling Group posted an official notice. Christian updated his own feed. A photo of our marriage certificate. X exploded. Hashtag Christian Stellard. Hashtag Manhattan Monk wed in secret. Counterfeit. No more comments went nuclear. Some said I wasn't worthy. Some said he'd gone blind. A few said we looked good together. Christian posted again. Marrying her was my call. Got a problem. Come at me. I retweeted. Come at him. Leave me out of it. I bruise easy. Threads blew up again. Chloe called. You two just went official. Yep, finally. But your husband's post was too hard. Edge. Sprinkle some sugar. Example. Something like meeting you was my greatest luck. I passed it on. He frowned. Too cheesy. Then what would you write? He looked at me. Everything I posted is true. After the announcement, the Vance family knocked out. My mom came. They looked awkward at the doorstep. Dad carried fruit. Mom held supplements. Like visiting distant relatives, I invited them to sit. Christian was there. Dad spoke first. Stella, how've you been? Good. Mom watched Christian. He treats you well, very. Still air hung thick. Mom's eyes reddened. Stella, I'm sorry. I stayed quiet. She continued. I was wrong before. Only thought of Sophia, neglected you. Dad added, we do love you. We just felt we owed Sophia so much. I cut in, I know. They froze. I really do, I said. She grew up in an orphanage, suffered plenty. You want to make it up to her, of course you do. Mom's tears dropped. But I went on, you raised me for 23 years. One day the love just vanished. Hard for me to get used to. Silence. Anyway, I have my own home now. I glanced at Christian. He treats me well, and that's enough. Dad wiped his eyes. Good. Before leaving, Mom pressed a cash-filled red envelope into my hand. For your wedding, we missed it. I tried to refuse. She insisted. Take it, a token from Mom. I accepted. I closed the door and looked at Christian. You didn't say a word. I didn't know what to say, afraid of saying wrong. I laughed. You afraid? He wrapped an arm around me. Afraid of hurting you. I'm not hurt, really. I thought. A little, but not much. It used to ache. Now it aches less. Why? I met his eyes. Because when someone treats me well, the hurt shrinks. He leaned down and kissed me. Mrs. Davis stepped out of the kitchen and spotted us. Oh dear, I didn't see a thing. We both laughed. Sophia was getting married to Landon. When the news arrived, I was halfway through an apple. I froze for 3 seconds. Landon. The one I decked? Christian nodded. The very same. What was she thinking? No idea. The engraved invitation arrived that afternoon. I opened it. Groom, Landon. Bride, Sophia. Date, next Saturday. Venue, Ellis. I glanced at Christian. Are we going? Do you want to? Kind of curious. Then we go. On the wedding day, I wore a black dress. Christian looked me over. That? What's wrong? You look like you're headed to a funeral. I grinned. Pretty much. At the hotel entrance, Landon himself was greeting guests. When he saw me, his smile locked up. I handed him a cash-filled red envelope. Congratulations, Landon. He took it through clenched teeth. Stella. Inside, we were seated next to Christian's mother. She gave me a frosty sniff. I ignored her. The ceremony began. Landon led Sophia down the aisle while the officiant intoned the vows. Sophia glowed in her white wedding gown, sweetest smile in place. I watched, oddly detached. Christian leaned in. What's on your mind? Wondering what's for dinner. He chuckled. Priorities. After the vows, the toasts started. Sophia came over, champagne in hand. Said Stella, you came. I lifted my glass. Happy ever after. She stared at me. Voice dropping. I know you've always looked down on me. I arched a brow. Care to explain? You're the true. I'm the counterfeit. Even after the switch, you still think you're better. I smiled. Sophia, you're overthinking. Am I? Her gaze fixed on my heirloom jade bracelet. The sterling treasure is on your wrist. The Vance daughter is still you. I'll never measure up. I set my glass down. You've got it. Backward, she waited. I'm neither true nor counterfeit. I'm Stella, the one who writes books. She blinked. Stunned. Double quotes. Stop measuring yourself against me. You have your road. I have mine. Comparisons are pointless. I stood. We've got somewhere to be. Enjoy your party. Outside. Christian studied me. So dinner, he asked. I considered. Hot pot done. Back home, we changed. And headed to our favorite hot pot place. Halfway through the meal, I scrolled my phone and spotted a thread. Stella just got lucky marrying Christian. Who else would want a counterfeit? Guy must be blind. I passed him the phone. He skimmed. Then set it aside. Mad? Nope, I said. I find it hilarious. Hilarious how? They say I hit the jackpot marrying you. I met his eyes. Is that what happened? He put down his chopsticks. What do? You mean? If you hadn't married me, I'd probably still be in some rented studio. Instant noodles 3 meals a day, racing deadlines. He stayed quiet. So yeah, I did get lucky I met you. He looked at me. Know why I married you? I shook my head. Not because of any family pact. Because I wanted to. Since when? Since you kissed me that first time. I blinked. You were that young and already, he nodded. So it wasn't you who got lucky. It was me. I stared. The broth bubbled between us. Christian, did you miss me like a lot? A pause. Yes. Then why didn't you come after me? I tried. You left the country. I couldn't find you. I remembered those years abroad. I'd changed numbers and cut contact. Later I heard you were back. So I waited. Waited for what? For you to remember me. He smiled faintly. You never did. I felt guilty. We were kids. He laughed. Remember now? I do. Good enough. Back home I was starving again. No idea why. I'd eaten plenty. Christian caught me raiding the fridge. Midnight snack? Looks like it. Sit tight. He headed for the kitchen. I followed. He started boiling noodles, watching his back. I flashed to our first months of marriage. Same scene only strangers then. Now we weren't. He set two bowls on the table. I twirled noodles around my chopsticks. Thinking of that night, Christian, yeah, why did you cook noodles for me that evening, Shrug, you were hungry, that's it? And upset why? You'd been wronged, and you hadn't eaten enough. Now I remembered, I really had skipped dinner. How do you notice? Your tell, he tapped his brow. You frowned when you're still hungry. I rubbed my face. That obvious, he nodded. I kept eating. Then burst out laughing. What? You missed your 3 rules, scribbling clauses. Yet you had other plans all along. Color hit his ears. Let's not revisit that. Why not? It's adorable. He set his bowl down. Adorable. All cold and businesslike before the wedding. After sneaking into my bed nightly. So were you faking the indifference? A long beat? No. Then what? He held my gaze. Fear of that you'd tire of me, refused to marry me. That someone else was in your heart. I swallowed. I wanted you, but I didn't know how to ask. The rules were proof I wouldn't crowd you. Yet you still crept in every night. A sheepish grin. I caved. I studied him, the great Christian. Once a coward, on our first anniversary he asked what gift I wanted. A baby. I said, he froze seriously, dead serious. He grinned goofiest smile ever. Our daughter arrived a year later. We named her Christiana, after the book of songs. I worried the name sounded tossed off. He shrugged. You're Stella. She's Christiana, both tied to poetry. Fits. Double quotes made sense. At her baby's first month celebration, the guest list was endless. My mom hugged the infant. Sophia showed up with her own girl. 3 months older. We exchanged soft smiles, no more scoreboard. Christian's mother arrived. I'd read the moment she held her granddaughter. She has your face. I agreed. She met my gaze. The past, let it go. I already have. That night, baby asleep. We sat on the balcony watching the moon. Stella, he said, thank you. For what? He thought, for marrying me, for giving me a daughter. For enough with the cheese. He laughed. I gazed at the moon. Remembering an afternoon threading beads years ago. Christian, yeah, still wearing them. He pushed up his sleeve. The Buddhist bead bracelet circled his wrist. The bead carved with my name faded by time. Looks ancient. 23 years and counting. I smiled. Forever, forever, he said. Till the string breaks, then I'll restring it. I laughed. The man really knew the right words sometimes. Thanks for listening. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this story? If you liked it, hit like and share with friends. We can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more tales. See you next time.